welcome to the MystiCOOLS. Empath weekly update for the vibes of the week. See what we got going on. And if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and Christmas. It's a Christmas. Massively lit up with Christ. Yeah, I focused a lot on like embodying and becoming a Christ one and like doing the whole bridge thing we talked about last week. Really cool stuff. Just learning how to ground in, those kinds of things. But anyhow, moving on to this week. Woo-hoo! So, if you had maybe any, which happens, sometimes it does, as we are purifying and transforming and becoming who we're meant to be, sometimes we can trigger people or relationships have karmic, things that you have to cleanse and stuff, and sometimes holidays, those things can come up. So if you did experience that, know that you are loved and that all is well, and that when we decide to show up consciously with unconditional love, we can shift patterns and timelines. Awesome. So our first card is from our angels. And it's relationship. Gotta get untangled sometimes. Relationship harmony. Which, there you go. If you had that kind of stuff, the angels are here to confirm that they're saying, we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. And arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So if you happen to experience any kind of things like that, just hold the light, be unconditional, pray for spiritual guidance. Angels are there to assist you in resolving any kind of relationship conflict to bring that peace, love, and harmony in. Cool. All right, so I got some how deep can you go? It's an abyss of the unknown. It just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. And sometimes you got to pull yourself back and get a little bit of perspective. So, I got some messages because as a channeler, I like to listen to other channelers as well. And it, especially when it confirms something that I channeled. And that way it keeps us from getting egotistic or too far in our own heads. So, I had got some stuff about being a truth frequency. I channeled something about that a long time ago, and I was kind of like, what am I even saying? But it's one of those moments like your soul knows what it's talking about, but your mind's kind of like, did I just say that? But I got it confirmed again to be a truth frequency. And so I've been holding back a little bit on this topic because sometimes people are not comfortable with it. It's scary. It's whatever. But look, the truth sets you free. So it's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, I just want to clarify that giving into fear or hiding in avoidance is actually feeding it more. So with courageousness and bravery and the fire of God and facing it, you are just so much more likely to come out victorious. So entities, right? Good ones, not so good ones. The not so good ones like to cause chaos with relationships, infringe, separate people from coming together. And, I've been feeling some stuff I also had somebody call me and say something was weird happening on their phone. And so I was like, well, I'm not feeling those feelings. I'm feeling peace and I'm meditating. But that could also be triggering some of the darker sides. Because shifting timelines, I worked a lot on purification, come to the realization it's been deeply integrated within the last half a year. A lot before that too. So a lot of us have probably been going through deep timeline shifts and stuff like that. So this is why I'm just going to kind of talk about it because it's what was coming up. So I figured it's probably really most likely relevant to our topic here today. So our empath vibes. So taking your power back and standing up. Stand up for yourself. That's what I learned. And not being upset at people, but understanding with a higher knowledge that there are lower, dense energies that do not want this highest positive timeline. And let's just be honest about that, okay? So when you're shifting a reality, okay, from maybe feeling disempowered, or you used to keep your voice, quiet to make other people comfortable. Well, now we're asked, is what I'm getting, and I'm being told to speak more to people about that, because I'm an example, but I don't always want to make it about me, you know what I mean? But my story can help others. So I'll share it. But just being able to shift the patterns from a disempowered to an empowerment may come to the point that you need to stand up for yourself when other people might be complaining, oh, you're too much, it's too this, it's too spiritual, it's too this, it's too that, it's too whatever. Well, I got the message. It's not time to dim the light. It's time to shine it bright. Okay? It's time to shine your light. And you know what? You don't have to put yourself around others that may not understand you, but we're going for unconditional love. Okay? We're going for shifting timelines right now. We want to work with the angels in peace, love, and harmony. As you can see, they're saying, they're bringing harmony into a relationship. So remember, it's not the people, but low dense energies that want to separate the people. So the way I do it now is, instead of boxing people or boxing myself or talking about being in a box and boxing about boxing, just instead speaking my truth in the most conscious, loving way, without having personal affliction or being upset about other people's reactions or feelings or whatever. We need to hold the space and understand, as us light workers and empaths, that there are lower dense energies, and this is not a joke, demonics, infringements, and stuff is real. It really needs to be cleansed on the lower timelines for us to shift. And it's coming in strong for me to start teaching more about this, because when you're in it, you're in it. And I'm coming to the other, the outside of it. And then anything I've ever been through in life that was a challenge, and when I overcome it, I like to teach about it and help others. So you might be dealing with the same thing. You might be, empaths, light workers, healers. We're really, emphasizing a lot on connecting with those who are doing the work. You could be learning high vibrational stuff and be called to teach it, or teaching and called to get deeper learning to continue to teach. I do believe we're being called to teach more and more. So the angels got another message for us here, which is teaching and learning. Yeah. So when people don't know, what did God say? My people perish for the lack of knowledge. Well, y'all, let's get knowledgeable. And if you got the knowledge, share it, right? Empower people, share it. So again, teaching and learning. Okay, we're learning how to be brave enough to share hidden teachings. Okay, so it says keep an open mind, learn new ideas, and then teach ideas to others. Right. So that's kind of what I'm vibing here. I was looking at my stuff with a different perspective, how to take, from the observer's point of view. I'm looking at where my unconsciousness used to get triggered with others and not know why. So then why would I get mad if someone's triggered with me? You know what I mean? It's kind of that compassionate, unattached compassionate, knowing that entities are trying to keep us from. Look, it ain't even a thing. I'll just basically be honest with you. We choose love, we gonna win. That's it. We already won. It's just about, learning about that and using those powers so that we don't feed any of those lower vibrations, so we can collectively shift the timeline. So two things. I'm just going to go with our angels here, finish out with that, and then I'm going to go with the stone card we got. But we got the Archangel Michael. You are safe. So again, even if you experience, let's say you have the spiritual abilities and you can see darkness or entities to lower vibration, so you can see what they've been doing to the timeline, to the light beings, or you might be able to see into the spirit realm. You're safe. Call in Archangel Michael, ask for clearings. I also recommend the violet flame to transmute any dense karma, or it's not even just karma, it's also infringement. So a little bit of both, and cleaning up. So calling in Archangel Michael will keep you safe, and will also clear cords. It will clear low energies. It will protect you and your loved ones. Archangel Michael is the jam. Okay, it's call on them. You know what I'm saying? So it says, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. So anytime you see something dark, call Archangel Michael. Come on in. Come on in, Archangel Michael. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. And then that moves me into, okay, the changes. So switching timelines. I've wrote a few songs about this. The highest positive timeline. And then, like, purify your timelines. I wish I could remember my rap, but I can't right now, but that's okay. I'll share. We're going to share this music as soon as I'm calling it in to be in a group, get a music producer or something. I need help with that. But, like, the lyrics, you know, I'd like to post that on YouTube. But there is one called Purify Timelines, and then I have one called The Highest Positive Timeline. So we're purifying the timelines to get to the highest positive timeline. So I've been feeling all kinds of shifts and changes in my life. And as light workers, empaths, healers, we're constantly ascending, right? We're ascending the planet. So that means there can be a lot of uncomfortable changes, a lot of triggers, a lot of things we thought we knew, we don't know, you know, or we have to unlearn, we have to reset. And sometimes that can feel like grounding is really important, right? But at the same time, so is the water current flow that takes us out of stagnant, stuck things. So one of the main messages I also got to share is it is time for us to get out of our comfort zones, to, in truth, switch to the highest positive timeline. We're going to have to shift out of comfort zones, okay? Because what we did in the centuries before, whatever, and the ancestors is wonderful. Thank you. We call upon them. I went to a whole full moon circle or new moon circle, and it was wonderful. And I love the idea of calling on the ancestors in a high vibrational way. But also, in truth, there are some densities from the ancestral line that needs cleansing for us to shift back into the highest positive timeline, which brings embodies through us heaven on earth. So that goes to everyday life, spiritual, practical, together, okay? So you can have an idea and it can be like, whoa, far out there, and that's great. We can talk about it, it's so conscious and amazing. But to actually get out of the comfort zone of shifting that into a reality takes like real faith and real willingness to discover who you are, what is your power, and what is the frequency that you bring at your true authentic self, at your highest vibration. What do you bring in? And so we got career changes and stuff like that. So maybe some of you need to shift out of your comfort zones within this realm. Maybe you are called to do spiritual work in a career and you've been going, oh, I don't know, that's risky. I'll be honest, it is. Okay, I'm in it. I'm in the depths of the abyss of the unknown. Sometimes it's like, will I even, I don't know. It's like, do you get to 0 point to become like, have millions? I don't even understand this. But what I do know is my heart knows I am here to help switch to the highest positive timeline, and that is the goal, okay? Comfortable, not comfortable, doesn't even matter. Just throw it out, make the changes. Now, I've got this fire, and I have been doing spiritual work for over a decade deeply. So, it may just be my time that I'm really ready, but I am getting as a channeler right now to tell to others, it's cool. You'll be good. When you follow your heart, it will lead to your mind's clarity. Okay, I say this a lot, but honestly, spirit, the universe, all the beings that are on from all kinds of multidimensional realms, the inner earth to the heavens, will back you up when you want to follow your life's calling. You may have to go through lower energies that will trip you up to make you think you're not backed up. That's when you call in Archangel Michael, clear the path. You will get the support you need. You will get the resources you need if you truly, truly trust and follow your life's calling. So you may be called to switch your life's work. You may be called to switch careers. You may be, maybe you're doing, something, and you're being called to teach or to heal or to work with stones. Or to, maybe you have a great salary and you leave to go work in a stone shop because you get to help people deal with frequencies and work with stones. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just giving an example. And some might be like, oh, that's not a smart decision. To what? To money, or to like how we're going to switch the entire positive, switch the timeline. So in switching the timeline, small practical things like answering a life's calling is how that switches. It's not this far out crazy. It's really in the practical that we show up. When we show up and we decide to be loving in our thoughts and feelings, even when no one else is around about situations, or decide to send love or encouragement instead of complaint, these little small changes can make huge shifts, huge reality shifts. So same thing with your job. You got to think, what is the value to you? Is seeing the planet healed, moving into heaven is on earth is important to you, or is it like staying, in your career job? And you could be in a career job that has nothing to do with spiritual and is so spiritual. So I'm just talking to those who feel like they're ready to expand. It's time. It's time to take a leap. Sit with it, meditate, ask for guidance, but also my recommendation, no joke, ask Archangel Michael to clear any low energies that keep you from seeing what you need to see. And, like you could be, again, called to be teaching, who knows, counseling, whatever. And so it says your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So if you're feeling that trigger, remember, triggers are blessings in a way. They actually are. They're messengers. So listen to them. And it's time to get out of those comfort zones. Because to be honest with you, when you get out of like apathy and numb, and I'm not saying that anyone's apathetic. I'm a full-blown empath. Like, people see me as an empath. And sometimes I have frozen moments in apathy, okay? And I've seen that in others, and I've seen it within myself, where I've gone through so much pain, I start to numb out. And that's where God's like, too comfortable. You need to feel it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like even deeper. I thought I was feeling it. You know what I'm saying? But it was out of my comfort to think that, oh, I was living at my, no, because we're always ascending. So I had more work and more levels to dive into to switch some realities and make some changes. So light workers, empaths, healers, beautiful soul people, you could be called to do the same thing. So triggers are not necessarily negative. And if it does feel like a lower negative energy, Archangel Michael, the angels are here to assist you. And then that brings me into wind. We got wind. So the winds of changes, okay? Wind is great for moving out stagnant energy. Wind is great for anything that's been stuck and you need some power and some movement. Wind is powerful. If you just watch the wind, it's extremely, it's so powerful and beautiful. And then also we're called in for some balance. So balance may be like, balancing out relationship harmony, balancing out like some of these triggers you might be experiencing. By answering those callings, you'll begin to feel peace beyond this world. So for example, you make a career change and you've gone with the winds of change, you've balanced out, you've sat with it, you've called in Archangel Michael, you've made the switch. And maybe at first it's like, you have to get used to having like less money than you did or something, or not knowing how much money. And that may feel uncomfortable at first, but know that by following those changes and being really balanced within your choice, and make sure you really sat with it, you listen to the triggers. You're not being like reactive. You're being responsive to like a conscious, like meditative decision that you decided to take forward in that change. Getting out of your comfort zone, but also meditate with it and balance out some of your feelings, so that you come from a place like not being upset, not being like scared, working through some of those things. I think it's really important also when shifting. So the main message I feel like this week is about is shifting realities, purifying timelines to move into a higher positive timeline. And that is just in the smallest speck of choices that come from within. The kingdom of heaven is found within. And when we light it up from within, what is within can be without. Okay? So it will align when we're being authentic. When we're being authentic, the true authenticness of the holiness will shine. So we have to go through processes sometimes that are really uncomfortable to purge out what isn't us. So maybe like we kept, playing it dim so people could be comfortable. Maybe just speaking up. That's what I feel. It's like, all right, I'm feeling some energies, I'm going to call in Archangel Michael, whether, that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring some awareness that these triggers we're feeling, I believe, are being triggered by lower energies, and I'd like to go ahead and clear them. And some people are like, you're weird. That's all right. I'd rather be weird than having some lower entities feed off my aura. You know what I'm saying? Like, at what comfort is comfortable? I stay, numb and not aware that I'm being, like, depleted. No, that's not fun. So it's almost more fun to risk being courageous, take the changes, and this being the example. So aligning not just the thoughts that we're teaching and we're learning how to be examples. And when we're teaching by being examples as well as speaking up and sharing. Because honestly, the more knowledge we have, the less we perish. So, hey, let's go with the winds of change. Let's get some balance. Let's get out of comfort zones. Let's call in Archangel Michael. Clear out the energies so we can really learn and teach. And bring in like harmony in all our relations, because we're meant to love one another, right? Love is the most powerful ever. And that leads me to the last thing in this card that's really, really, I've never even gotten this card out of this deck out of like the 2-3 years I've had this deck or whatever. I've never even seen this card. So it's perfect timing. And this is alternative realities. So again, this makes me think of shifting timelines where, we have our friends that we may or may not be able to see, depending on if you have to get the sight. That's all right. You might be able to feel it, hear it, telepathy, like we talked about last week, telepathy coming in with people, but also like with our guides. So this card is alternative realities. And it looks like, like spaceships and a pyramid. And it's like so much going on. Water, storm element around. And I feel like the beings of higher vibration are here assisting us. And they're calling us to take like this leap, to switch this timeline. And it's on my heart to put this out here. I've kind of held back for like a little bit, but not really, like kind of, but not really. And so this is me like really coming out. I really feel at this time, it's time to clear lower energies, purify old timelines from like centuries and thousands of years and all this jazz. And ancient beings are helping us. Light beings are helping us. And it is even as, a big reality shift could be something like changing your career to answer your life's calling. Asking Archangel Michael to clear low energies in your life. Calling in the angels with an open mind and channeling information and teaching. Calling in angels when dealing with conflict to resolve it. These small steps, they're huge. Accepting the winds of change. Balancing out. This also makes me think balancing heart and mind. And body and soul, and like just making sure that we're not too far out in our head thinking about ideas, and we're also grounding it into realities. And so alternative realities. How about some heaven on earth? All right? I really, truly, truly resonate with, we have this power. This is what they want us to know. We have the power to make this change. Okay? We can be the change we want to see. Really can. So I hope, that sparks you, and know that like if people are like, oh, you're weird or this, or it's too much, keep going. But do call in Archangel Michael during those times. But we support you. There are tons of people out here that are like, yes, thank you for showing up. Thank you for helping the planet ascend. Thank you for those who choose to be brave, to be an example, to get out of their comfort zones, to transmute energy, to hold space, to put events together for consciousness. Thank you. Thank you, all of you beings who are out there switching and, timelines. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And so, last but not least, we've got our chakra of the week. Only got one, and I'm really feeling it because it's high vibrational. Purple, again, it makes me feel like this one right here. I believe this is our main, this is like our main thing going on this week, but also just this year going into 2023. I feel like this year we can really make a huge shift. Like, woo! I'm feeling it. You know, if we can show up, if we can be our true selves and you know, and like really, really move the lower energies out, like little fears of like fitting in or this and that or whatever, you know, really honestly, to shift the timeline would be the best thing we could all choose to do. So I think it's great if we can choose love over, you know, and empowerment over disempowerment any day. So I support you. If you're out there and you're being brave and you may get some negative feedback, we love you. Call in Archangel Michael. You know, you got this. You can do this. You are strong. You are a powerful being. We have this power of heaven within ourselves. All we got to do is turn on that light. Just turn on that light and shine it bright. You know what I'm saying? Of course, with consciousness. We want to make sure balance. We want to make sure that we have, you know, consciously ask the angels to help us channel a message or clear energies or whatever it may be. Awesome. So we got our crown, downloaded some high vibrational energy. All right, so breath visits the sites of the great mystery. The transformations of light and life. It is always pregnant with the shapes of things to come. Breathing out, we hear the words be. Breathing out, we hear the words the one. Be the one that makes a change. Be the one that makes a change. Be the one that shows up today. Be the one that shifts the old timelines into a new timeline. Thank you so much for being the change. Be the one. You are the one you were waiting for. You are the one that has the keys within you. You are powerful. You are loved. We are all technically one. So the more we go within us and activate that and within and without, we can be the one and be the change we want to see in the planet. And switch those timelines. All right. Well, I'm super stoked and excited about this week. And highest positive timeline is our goal. And I'm excited about that. So thank you for joining us here today. The empath vibes for the week. And also, if you feel like inspired, you can leave a comment. You can subscribe or leave a comment, like the video, all that stuff. We love the support. And also we love to support. So we got a comment last week. Thank you for sharing your comment. Honestly, we would love to learn more about your story. If you want to reach out, we could talk a little bit more about your, you mentioned twin flame journey and stuff of this nature and some of the spiritual things you've been going through. We would love to integrate more if you feel called, if you're watching this video. Just it sounds like a fascinating story and timeline shifting that I would love personally to hear about. If you feel called, and others as well, if you have stories about your transformation, spiritual, switching of timelines, switching of realities, telepathy, bridging, teaching, healing, whatever it is, if you would like to share, we'd love to hear it. You know, I believe that encouragement is a good way to keep us all like lit up. So thank you so much for coming in. We're so grateful you were here, and many, many blessings. Have a holy, blessed, high vibrational week. Namaste.